I don't want anyone from the left to be banned.
Right.
And it's for that same reason that I don't want Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google. I don't want them determining which content is or is not deemed acceptable. Question of the day. We're going to get into this a little. Do you think that Twitter banning all political ads is a good thing for our democracy or not? And let me ask you this. Do you think that the action favors one side more than the other? I'm genuinely curious. I'm going to make my case here. For those who don't know, Twitter announced last week it would be banning all of the political ads leading up to the 2020 election. We have a clip of Dead Johnny Mathis.
Jack Dorsey announcing today that Twitter will no longer accept political ads in advance of the 2020 election. Dorsey tweeting this: "We've made the decision to stop all political advertising on Twitter globally. We believe political
it's all the young
message
kid
reach
blood.
should be earned.
I think it's just good,
not
clean living.
bought."
We've got to have accountability at the platforms to say, we have to be the referees. Somebody's got to do it. And if there's no referees, then it's just complete Wild West. Mm-hmm. And we have Russians and others taking control of the platforms.
Good answer.
No, it's not.
Good answer.
I'm unbiased.
Good answer, Mr. Plaid. And was that an ascot? Can we bring that back up? What was that? He had that pattern there. What's that pattern, Audio Wade, you called it?
It looks like a paisley kind of thing.
Paisley with plaid, but it's like, it doesn't even make sense. What is that? Is that the collar on his jacket? Did he wear an ascot?
That's so many
And why is he wearing a plaid shirt buttoned all the way to the top without a tie?
That's too much
He's
stuff.
a cowboy.
He should have gone all the way and he should have put a bolo tie in there. By the way, do you notice the people who claim that we need to regulate ads for fake news they were talking about? In the same breath, they push the Russian conspiracy theories.
Yes, come on.
It's like saying, I think we really need to strengthen our laws regarding tax evasion, naturally not including my accounts in the Cayman Islands. But other people's Swiss bank accounts are the problem. What about the Caymans? No, we'll just leave that alone.
Nope, good idea.
But I think we need it for other people. And by the way, as it relates to Twitter, I don't know if you guys have. It's obvious they're taking the stand because in the social media arms race, they are dead last, right?
Yeah.
They're behind Facebook, they're behind Instagram, and you can argue, and we've heard those on the left argue that Facebook and allowing political ads, they're just protecting their bottom line, and Twitter just says we have no bottom line.
Somebody buy us, please.
Somebody buy us, please.
We're on the market.
But there are a couple of issues that I have here that no one else has really been talking about. You ban political ads, okay? So Donald Trump can't run an ad, Bernie Sanders can't run an ad. Okay, that's one thing. But they claim that this is because they want organic reach to be earned, not bought. Here's my question. Can ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, BBC, can they run ads? Even if Fox News is allowed, it's still an unbelievable advantage for the left.
Yeah.
And what constitutes a political ad still isn't really clear. So that's one thing. This is a brilliant ploy right now. They go, no one can run political ads. But hold on a second.
Right.
If all networks, if the New York Times can run an ad, if Washington Post can run an ad, if Snopes can run an ad, fact-checking the president because of a Photoshop with a dog getting the Medal of Honor, and if they can run that as an ad because they're not technically a political entity, these are questions that we need answered.
Yeah.
And when asked for clarification, actually, I think it was Jack's lawyer, was it VJ Gadd? The one who was on Joe Rogan with Tim Pool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
They said the criteria for labeling political issue ads. So here I have the actual, the quote, ads that refer to an election or a candidate, or ads that advocate for or against legislative issues of national importance, such as climate change, healthcare, immigration, national security, taxes. So given that news outlets, they haven't actually had their ads labeled issue ads under the existing guidelines, it seems pretty clear that they can continue to run these ads as long as they just claim that they're objectively covering stories. And for those who doubt the objectively covering the news, see the people up there who say, we need people to ensure objectivity, let's talk about Russia. Well, here's the thing, they want to act as though there's some kind of a balance of power, and they go, because Donald Trump's in the White House. Well, hold on a second. Donald Trump's in the White House, but the entire media, the entire entertainment industry, every band that you can think of, every celebrity that you can think of, save for like Scott Baio, right? They're all on the far left, and they're allowed to run ads. And this is something that's important. What about? Let's get to that. Individuals. Again, Jack Dorsey, his justification for the banning of political ads was that reach should be earned, not bought. They've made it extremely difficult for conservatives to earn reach. But the shadow banning, the blacklisting, even just outright banning. There's shadow banning, and then there's banning. So how many other conservatives are banned from running ads? Prager University has been banned from advertising on Twitter.
Crazy.
This is something people don't know. The pro-life organization Live Action, you may know they were banned from running ads on Twitter. While, of course, Planned Parenthood still advertises freely.
Easy.
So I wonder if there are any federal taxpayer dollars that have been spent on Twitter ads for Planned Parenthood. Not abortions, mind you. Just click like if you hate Trump. Donald Trump is a fascist. Agree? And then you have, the Republicans' Facebook People's Front. It's like, Hillary should be locked up. Do you agree? 55 million likes.
Oh, my gosh.
And then we kill ourselves.
Don't do that.
Why do we put all this work in? Do you hate Hillary? Click like. But here's something people don't know about live action. One of the requirements Twitter gave for live action to be able to advertise at all was they had to delete all of their ultrasound pictures, not just from ads on Twitter. Right? It wasn't this Twitter ad has an ultrasound picture. And I'm not talking about chopped up baby parts. It's an ultrasound. You would think, okay, that seems like it should be acceptable. But they can remove it from their ads on Twitter. No. Live action had to remove it not only from their Twitter ads, not from their Twitter account, but from the entire website. Wow. If they wanted to run any ads on Twitter. And here's something else, too, that people understand. If you play ball with there's no guarantee that if live action makes these changes, that they would reinstate any ads. This is what's important. This is why we've talked about our fight with YouTube is just about transparency, understanding the guidelines, and making sure that they are applied equally.
Right.
If Planned Parenthood can run ads, but live action cannot run ads unless they remove all ultrasound pictures from even their personal website off of Twitter, then there should be some kind of a guarantee at that point, right? Like, okay, if we do that, that's not what happens. So I've been permanently banned from advertising on Twitter.
As well you should.
Even though, just like YouTube, my ad campaigns were created by Twitter themselves. Then they created the ad campaigns, then they declared them a violation of policy. So we created a bunch of different ad sets, and one of them said, hate hippies. It said,
that's so mild.
Hippies, follow me to quell thy pain. And I had different sets because a Twitter ad executive created it for me. He was like, let's try hate hippies. Let's try can't stand SJWs. Let's try can't stand. We ran like 8 variations of it. And they said, this is a violation. So guess what I did? I took down that tweet. But apparently my entire account is in violation because at one point I asked if you hate hippies, which you don't need to answer that in the comment section. I know you do.
That's bipartisan.
And then YouTube.
It's almost rhetorical.
Remember YouTube? They sent us this general outline like, well, you can't just do spot the tranny. You need to remove the socialism shirt from YouTube. We removed 40 videos from YouTube?
Plus.
40 videos from YouTube. And we removed the socialism is for fake shirt from our website.
Yeah.
We removed any video and then some. We have yet to be remonetized, just so you know. So again, this is the problem. They say, well, if you do X, Y, and Z, we'll let you sit at the cool kids table, and then invariably you don't get any contact back while Planned Parenthood runs ads as often as they want. By the way, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed because subscriptions don't mean a whole lot. You still get notifications, I guess, on your phone, but those don't really. Just check in every day. We have a new video every single day at 8 p.m. Eastern, right? Quarterback, Gary?
Yes.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Aside from the bias that you see against conservatives, we should also note the idea that you need to earn, not buy. Right? This sounds noble. I understand that. But this also is something for people to understand. That's biased against anti-establishment candidates, as we saw with Tulsi Gabbard. Politicians who've been around for a very long time, who've been a part of the establishment, to use that word, they don't need to earn reach to the same degree. But they don't need to buy reach, I should say. They already have it by being a part of the establishment. Newer candidates who want to challenge establishment candidates are now at a distinct disadvantage. It's the same reason that Bank of America doesn't need to advertise their crappy services because you already know. They're on every single corner, as opposed to, say, the local chemical bank. That's an actual bank somewhere. I don't know if it's here, but in the Midwest.
Somewhere.
Right? They don't have the huge market share, so they have to be competitive, and they have to have a system that allows them to let you know why they are competitive, because they don't have that huge, just that mammoth market share like Bank of America has. The same reason the mom and pop diner would probably get more use out of advertising locally than a McDonald's. They don't have the same brand recognition. So this is another way for Twitter, the leftists, you should be upset about this too, Democrats, to stack the deck in favor of the establishment candidates.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to go to the Citizens United parallels because I'm amazed that you don't really hear people talking about this. Citizens United, for people who don't know, you've heard this if you listen to the Young Turks or you listen to any of the leftist news sources. They talk about it as though it was the beginning of the downfall of our democracy. Citizens United, because that effectively created super PACs. Okay. For people who don't know, we've done a whole video on this. Citizens United was an issue because Hillary Clinton, right, this court case, it goes back. Hillary Clinton didn't want a documentary getting out that was critical of her around election time. The court ruled that the documentary could get out, and that, in turn, ruled that corporations consist of people, therefore they're protected under the First Amendment as people. Leftists lost their minds. They swear up and down that corporations are not people. Okay, all right, let's go with that. What about the media entities today? Are they people? Are they corporations? Are they allowed to run ads now that could affect politics or not? If you're going to be upset about Citizens United because independent filmmakers might have done some damage to Hillary Clinton. By the way, if Citizens United didn't have, Jeffrey Epstein would still be alive. A lot of people don't know this. Did you know that?
No.
No?
No.
That's a good thing.
He didn't kill himself.
And here's the thing: the left, they're still not. This is also the inconsistency that really bothers me. Those on the left, a lot of people on the left, I should say, some of them want political ads to stay, provided that they're being handled. Oh boy. I think the exact word we have is in the clip: monitored the right way. We know what that means.
I hear you. I would much rather have political ads on these platforms if they were done correctly, if they were monitored correctly. But here's the thing, I just don't trust them to do the job correctly. I just don't. And also keep in mind, look, we're dealing with two completely different political parties. And I'm not just talking about policies or ideology, I'm just talking about character, right? So on the right, you have people who will stop at nothing to smear the other side, to lie about the other side, to put out pure propaganda, false
Your whole channel is that.
Opponent, just so they can get the upper hand and they can win. Whereas Democrats, they're known for playing patty cakes, as Jake would say. So they don't play as dirty.
Right, they don't do anything underhanded like false impeachment trials or smearing a man of gang rape to avoid a Supreme Court nominee. By the way, another story came out today where a woman was like, I made that up. Sorry, Brett. Well, boy, do I have egg on my face.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, my God.
She just used the word monitor, provided that it's being monitored. At what point, I know people throw it, at what point does the word Orwellian become appropriate? We want to give this power to the biggest companies the world has ever known, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, big tech, provided that they're monitoring it properly. This is no longer, we talk about freedom of speech, right? We talk about, some people say, well, it's a private business issue. They have there's no necessity for the social media companies to allow any speech on their platform.
No.
But right now, you're effectively calling for them to get in bed with big government to make sure that political ads are monitored by your precious Jack Dorsey to make sure that the underhanded Republicans obviously are the ones who can't run ads. This is absolutely insane to me. This is the thing, is they're basically saying as long as the right people are doing the censoring, they're okay with it. And let's look at a difference between the recent LGBTQ court case against YouTube for people who haven't been following. They're suing YouTube for censoring their content. Okay? So I believe in the whatever it is, the brief that they filed, the half Asian lawyer Bill Richmond is not here, so I might be getting my legalese incorrect. But whatever it was that they filed, their initial petition, or their initial brief, they were saying, okay, YouTube, this is what we're demanding, that you in no way monitor or in no way affect our organic reach, or algorithmic reach, search traffic. Okay, so we absolutely want 100% transparency. Also, we want you to make sure that it's a safe space for LGBTQ creators by banning people we disagree with.
Wait, you almost had me there.
I was with you.
No censoring content except for all of these people.
Except for not me.
This is what's remarkable to me. Do you not understand? Do people not see how this could? Do you not see how this could bite you in the ass, leftists? Here's something. Let's think about this for a second. I've talked about this. If you go back and watch the A&M show, I don't want anyone from the left to be banned.
Right.
And it's for that same reason that I don't want Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google. I don't want them determining which content is or is not deemed acceptable. And I'm not just talking about on their platforms. They're also determining what's appropriate outside of their platform. As with us, we can't sell a shirt that you guys wanted to buy at loudwithcrowdershop.com. We have everything else there at loudwithcrowdershop.com, but we can't have the socialism for fake shirts. Fine. Live Action can't have ultrasound pictures on the website if they want to be on these social media platforms. Let's say the roles were reversed here. I don't know. Let's say that conservatives had a president in the White House, and they had the power to ask that the president petition the president to ask that he censor content we disagree with. We could do it. We don't. Think of that for a second. Right now, no one here is asking President Donald Trump to try and silence voices of dissent, even though right now the person in the highest office in the land, of course, would be sympathetic to our points of view. I would be absolutely ashamed to call President Trump my president if he decided that he was going to arbitrarily determine that Democrats wouldn't have a voice on social media. We don't believe in this. We believe in consistency and transparency for all. It is remarkable to me. And I also think it's very telling if you see two different sides out there, and we say all sides are the same, but all Republicans, all conservatives are out there saying this is a real problem with social media determining who's allowed to speak and who's not allowed to speak. And then you have the biggest voices on the left saying, well, it's not a problem unless we ensure that they're monitoring it properly. So we want them doing this, but we want to have a final say in who's allowed and who's not allowed. By the way, these are the same people, the SPLC, who determines what content is hate speech, what content is allowed. I don't even know what hate speech is anymore. I'm not entirely sure. This whole show could be banned as hate speech. I don't want anyone banned for hate speech, even if your content is offensively bad, just on an intellectual and an entertainment basis. I want it for all to see. Hey there, YouTube viewer, you know the drill. Just click one of these other videos in a box playing up here. And I mean, there's an actual box. I don't, of course, mean that in the feminine, it's a slur, but that, of course, I don't mean box because men can have boxes too, and I don't mean to say box. I just, that men can, there's like a DC outlet and an AC outlet, and they can be either one that they choose depending on the electrical current or the charge of ions, I think.